Hi everyone, this is going to be part 2 of my salvaged Elms Bonsai videos. Again, these are ones that I just collected from a nearby a construction site. If you want the full story, check out the first video in the series on the collected elms. As always, be sure to get all legal permission before you go trespassing onto private property and digging trees out of the dirt, even if you're 100% sure that they're going to get chopped down. So I've got two that I'm going to be working on now. I've got this gangly thing, which I may actually turn into two separate trees in the end. But for right now is probably just going to be one, and we'll see what it does. Yeah, should be interesting. It's got a lot of character to it, a lot of good movement in it already. In fact, actually, this has already got a lot of really cool movement in it already. So again, either one of these would make really great trees all by themselves. So again, I'm going to try and get it into this here terracotta pot, and I think with a little creativity I can probably do it without too much damage. So this is not going to be a crazy styling intensive video, much like the last one. This is mostly just going to be seeing if I can get enough of this, yeah, there we go, enough of this one buried in some soil that it bounces back from all of the horrible mutilations that I've given it. This is just about getting this tree back up to health and vigor, and being alive, and then I may make some more important styling decisions in the future for it. I can probably even tip it over that way for now, just to get the trunk a little bit more centered. Yeah, I think so. I'm literally just trying to cram as much of this big, thick root down in there as I can. And honestly, I don't really even want that much winding root on it, even under the best of circumstances. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and cut this off right here. And that reduces our overall root mass that we're dealing with by quite a bit. And I'm going to cut this one off to right here. There's a nice root growing right there. Nice couple of roots. So we'll get that all in the soil. And then we'll get all this back here in the soil as well. A nice little bend. And then sort of bury it like so, and there we go. So that's really all I'm going to be doing to this one. I don't have any crazy plans for it. It's obviously a root. It's got what we call inverse taper, where it's narrower at the bottom than it is at the top, because this is obviously, again, a root that is put out suckers. So we'll see what happens with it in the long run. You know, there's no point in worrying too much about the future if the tree doesn't survive the season. So again, just toss a little soil in the bottom. Not going to worry about a screen on the pot, because again, this one's got a very small drainage hole on it. Mostly just trying to get as much dirt in and around it. Oh, that's stabilizing really well. Cool. That's good. Excellent. So that actually went together really fast. I'm really happy about that. Just work the soil down into the root, make sure there's not too many air bubbles or anything in there. Don't want any pockets of air where water's not going to get to. Want to make sure that all the soil is up firmly against the roots, while at the same time making sure that we can get plenty of drainage and airflow in the actually. This already feels really firm. Yeah, that's going to work really well. So there we go. There's that salvaged elm. And now for the last of the salvaged elms. This one right here. And I am not 100% certain what to do with this. It's got a ton of root on it. It looks like it's about to shoot out all kinds of new roots all over it. I may just stick this into a regular old garden pot and see what I get. Clean up some of this grody hack marks that I've made on it. These are all the areas where I, had to chop it out of the soil. And I may not get like it's great. It's sort of a weird angle. So we've got all the growth that's coming out like this. Obviously, this is just growth to keep it alive. I'm not worried too much about maintaining it. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to stick it into one of those terracotta pots, and let it grow back out from there. It's pretty obvious that it's about to just shoot out a ton of roots anyway, so I may as well take advantage of that, I think. So I will be back with a saw, and I will make some cuts. I am back with my handy folding saw, and as I mentioned, I'm just literally going to take and cut off a giant chunk of the root on this. See, where is the best spot? There's a little root growing right here, so I'm going to try and cut below that. I think right here looks pretty good. Make sure you guys have an okay angle on it. And we can see all these nice white root buds growing in here, so hopefully we'll get some growth from there. So I was getting a little gummed up. There was a lot of mud when I was collecting these, so I need to go through and clean this saw out a bit. It's also cutting at kind of a weird angle. There we go. So that is what I'm going to be putting into a terracotta pot, and I'm just going to stick it in vertically and let it recover from that. And as an experiment, I will take this kind of cool looking chunk and I will stick it in the dirt and see what it does. It may very well grow out as well. Like I said, these are really hardy plants, so I'll be back with pot wort. Okay, so what I've got here is a terracotta pot, just like before. Nothing fancy. I'm going to take a little bit of my hormone rooting powder. Or rooting hormone powder. I'm watching too many YouTube videos where people mispronounce it. Hormone rooting powder. This tree really probably shouldn't need too much of it. If only because this tree's already trying to put out roots, so I don't really need to do much. So I'll just take and toss a little bit of soil into the bottom, and with a little luck, this tree is gonna stay more or less upright on its own. So we'll see what happens. If not, I may need to tie it in with a little bit of twine, but that's not the end of the world. Yeah, there we go. That's actually really stable. Obviously, not much to do as far as working the roots in because there are none. So we'll get out of this what we get. But there we go. There is my third salvaged elm. And now for the very last one, and I kind of, like I said, just kind of chucked this one into the pot. It's again trying to send out a bunch of roots on it, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it alone. Give it a little dash of the rooting powder. Nothing too crazy with this. This is a Hail Mary, but we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. Again, these elms are really robust and they will grow from just about anything. We do a couple of gaps I need to work some soil into on this one. And that is the last of my elms. All potted up and ready to go. Well, there we have it, everybody. That is the repotting of my elms videos. Again, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, let your friends know, all that kind of good stuff. And now for the most important part of all, the watering. And as always, have a wonderful day.